I want to ask you something, and I want you to sit with it before you answer. When did you last choose yourself? Not in the spa day, treat yourself, bubble bath kind of way that everyone throws around on social media. I mean, really choose yourself the way you choose everyone else, the way you show up for your kids without being asked, the way you reorganize your whole day when someone needs you, the way you push through exhausted because the people you love are counting on you. When did you last show up for yourself with that same energy? If you had to think about it, and most women do, then this episode is exactly where you need to be today. I am Ron, Simplified Myers, and this is Self-Love Wednesday, the midweek pause that exists for one reason: to remind you that the relationship you have with yourself sets the pathway for every other relationship in your life. Today, I want to talk about feeling chosen. And I want to start somewhere that most people never start, with you choosing you. Here's something I have observed after years of working with women and couples. The woman who feels unchosen in her marriage, the one who quietly wonders if her husband still sees her, still picks her, still values her the way he once did, that woman is almost always the same woman who stopped choosing herself first, not because she's weak, not because she does not know better, but because somewhere along the way, she learned that her needs were negotiable and everyone else's were not. She learned to shrink herself into whatever space was left after everyone else was taken care of. She learned to call that love. And here's what I want to offer you today. That is not love. That is survival. And you were made for more than surviving. Let me tell you what choosing yourself actually looks like, because it is not what most people think. It is not selfish. It is not abandoning the people who need you. It is not burning your responsibilities to the ground and walking away. Choosing yourself is far simpler and far more powerful than any of that. Choosing yourself is deciding that your inner world matters. It is noticing when you are running on empty and actually doing something about it instead of pushing through for the 10th day in a row. It is saying no to the thing that drains you so you can say yes to the thing that restores you. It is having a conversation with yourself at the end of the day that sounds like, what did I need today? Instead of only, what did I give today? That shift, that small daily shift, is the foundation of everything. Because here's the truth that research and experience both confirm. You cannot pour from an empty vessel. You cannot offer presents to the people you love when you're running on fumes. You cannot feel chosen by someone else when you have not first decided you are worth choosing. That last one is the one that stops most women cold. You cannot feel chosen by someone else when you have not first decided you are worth choosing. Repeat that again if you need to. Now I want to go a little deeper with you, because I think there is a story underneath all of this that is worth naming. A lot of women were taught, directly or indirectly, that their value lives in what they do for others. If you are helpful enough, patient enough, present enough, available enough, then you are worthy of love. And so loving yourself, truly choosing yourself, feels dangerous. Because what happens if you stop performing? What happens if you take up space? What happens if you need something? The story says people will leave. People will be disappointed. You will lose what you have worked so hard to keep. I want to tell you something directly. That story is lying to you. The people who truly love you do not need you to disappear in order to stay. And the ones who do, that is important information. But more than that, the version of you that gives everything and keeps nothing for herself is not a sustainable version. She burns out. She resents. She goes quiet. in the places she used to be open. She stops dreaming because she is too tired to dream. And nobody wins when that happens. Choosing yourself is not a threat to the people you love. It is a gift to them. So here is what I want you to practice this week. And I mean practice, not perfect. Practice. Once a day, just once. I want you to ask yourself one question before you say yes to anything. Is this coming from love or from obligation? That is it. 4 words. Love or from obligation. When you give from love, it fills you even as you give. When you give from obligation, it drains you a little more every time. You are allowed to notice the difference. You are allowed to use that information to make different choices. Not every time, not all at once, just once a day. One moment where you choose from love, including love for yourself. Here's the framework I come back to again and again in this work. Your story is creating a meaning. That meaning is creating an emotion, and that emotion is driving every behavior, including whether you choose yourself or disappear yourself. So what is the story? If the story is, I matter only when I am useful, then the emotion is anxiety, and the behavior is endless giving with no receiving. But if the story is, I am worthy of the same love I give so freely to others, then the emotion is peace. And the behavior is a woman who shows up fully for herself, for her partner, for her family. Not because she has to, because she chose to. That is the woman who feels chosen because she already knows she is. I want to close with something that I believe with everything in me. The most powerful thing you can do for your marriage, for your family, for everyone who depends on you, is to become a woman who knows her own worth. Not in an arrogant way, not in a way that dismisses others, in a quiet, settled, unshakable way. The kind of woman who walks into a room and does not need it to confirm what she already knows about herself. That woman does not beg to be chosen. She simply is. And the people in her life, the right people, rise to meet her there. You are not broken. Your story is. And stories can change. If today's episode resonated with you, I want to invite you to go deeper. The Marriage Mastery Simplified community is full of women doing exactly this work, choosing themselves first so they can show up fully for the people they love. Visit and become an uplifting partner with us. The link to the community is in the show notes. And if you are ready for the tools that actually move the needle, the book, the courses, the coaching, it is all waiting for you at simplifieduplifters.com. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for choosing to show up for yourself, because that is exactly what listening to this episode is. And most important, remember, you are extraordinary.